Right now at 5, 2 judges rule on whether the federal government has to fund SNAP, what it means for people who rely on the food program. And the governor signs a law that bans cell phone use in classrooms, what the exceptions are to that rule. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Franke. Susan Simon is off tonight, and as those trick-or-treaters get their busy night started, let's get your forecast. Here's meteorologist Blaise Keller. Blaise?
Yeah, we got a little bit of rain activity across parts of southern Wisconsin, mainly into Rock County. But we'll take a look at where those showers are falling all across southern Wisconsin. Maybe for folks who haven't quite gotten out yet and are getting ready to go trick-or-treating, where is that rain? Stretching from Fulton all the way down into northern parts of Illinois, Orfordville, just to the east of Magnolia, beginning to move into Janesville. We'll likely be dealing with those rain showers here in just a few minutes. That's our heaviest shower. We'll take it in and around Lone Rock along the Wisconsin River, where we also find a little bit of rain activity there over Highland, just north of Lone Rock as well. A little bit of rain maybe moving into Muscoda. We also find a light shower there outside of Madison between Fitchburg and, say, Lakeview. We got a little rain off towards Cottage Grove and then up towards Bloom there, just to the north and west of Richland Center. Also a little bit of rain. Now we're going to continue to see these on and off showers throughout the rest of this evening into the morning hours on Saturday. And again, some of these rain showers could turn over to a light rain snow mix as temperatures begin to slip into that near freezing temperature before we go into Saturday afternoon. So we will take a look at what lies ahead for the rest of your weekend, and obviously that first full week of November coming up in the full forecast.
All right, Blaise, thank you. And we begin with some breaking news. The Madison Police Department says a social media post accusing staff at Whitehorse Middle School of sexually assaulting a child is false. The department says the allegations were not based on factual evidence and that they were distracting and potentially harmful to the investigation and people who were not actually involved. A statement from the department says there is actually a significant amount of evidence that directly contradicts those allegations. And another major story at this hour, 2 federal judges say the Trump administration cannot withhold emergency funding for federal food assistance. That decision came down this afternoon. 25 states sued after the Trump administration said it wasn't allowed to use a contingency fund of about $5 billion for the program during the federal government shutdown. That reversed a USDA plan before the shutdown that said money would be tapped to keep SNAP funded. The question now is, how will this affect 700,000 Wisconsinites who rely on the program to put food on their tables?
We want to see relief as quickly as possible, but already, even before this lawsuit was filed, the process in place for preparing for SNAP benefits for November is behind schedule. And so what that impact will be remains to be seen, but the sooner we can get benefits to people, the better.
Now, judges in the SNAP lawsuit expect updates on the administration's progress on its compliance with the ruling by Monday. With the delay, people who receive SNAP benefits may end up needing to go to the food pantry anyway. Second Harvest says it is ready for an increased demand.
Our team is gearing up for a pretty tough time here. But they know that the toughest time is going to be had by the folks who are experiencing food insecurity. And so we have folks stepping up. We have reprioritizing work, redirecting responsibilities.
Now, for every $20 someone gives to Second Harvest, it can provide up to 5 bags of groceries to a local family. To donate, go to secondharvestsw.org. And we've also just received a statement from the governor about the food share lawsuits. And in it, the governor says people on food share still will not receive benefits tomorrow. The governor says, quote, "While we wait to see if the Trump administration will follow court orders and the law to do the right thing, here in Wisconsin, we must continue to prepare for the worst." And you can stay updated on what's next for people who receive those food share benefits right here on News 3 Now. And to receive the news directly to your phone as soon as it breaks, you can always download the free Channel 3000 mobile app. There it is. And at the Capitol, a new law bans your children from having their cell phones in the classroom. Governor Evers signed a bill this afternoon that requires districts to prohibit phone use during class time. Researchers at the Wisconsin Policy Forum say more than 70% of Wisconsin districts already have some policies in place and reported success.
What it meant for student learning, for student behavior, bullying, those types of things. They all felt like they had seen improvements in those areas since those policies had been adopted. So, those are some of the things that we're seeing.
Now, there are exceptions of emergency or perceived threats, managing health care if it's a part of their education program or it is allowed by a teacher for educational purposes. Governor Evers and the state insurance officials are giving us a glimpse of how much they say Affordable Care Act premiums could go up if tax credits aren't extended. Now, that's the issue extending the ongoing government shutdown right now. The governor says a family of 4 here in Dane County making $130,000 a year on the Silver plan would see their premiums go up more than $1,000 a month. A 60-year-old couple making $85,000 a year would pay about $1,600 more a month. And a 26-year-old making $48,000 a year in Dane County would pay about $128 more a month.
I think what it's going to do is make a lot of people reevaluate which plan they're actually picking. Because odds are there'll still be something that's affordable. There may be people might choose to go with a different insurance network, a different provider network, just to make sure that they can afford those monthly premiums.
Navigators with Covering Wisconsin offer free help with enrollment for insurance through the UW extension. Wisconsin Eye, our state's version of C-SPAN, is facing funding challenges. WisEye says it needs $1 million to continue its mission of government transparency over the next year. Our Ellie LaLiberte sat down with the organization's president. Ellie, what happens if WisEye doesn't get the money it needs here?
Well, Eric, if it doesn't meet that goal, Wisconsin Eye could be forced to reduce staff, scale back state capital coverage, and even potentially shut down completely. WisEye provides live, unfiltered access to state hearings, press conferences, and more. In the recent state budget, WisEye was offered a no-strings-attached dollar-for-dollar match of up to $10 million to build a permanent endowment. The organization has 8 months to raise the matching funds from donations. I sat down with WisEye's president to see what would happen if the network was no longer at the Capitol.
The biggest losers are those who care most about the inputs and outcomes of state government. So I would put on that list the commercial news media, advocacy organizations around the state, and the people of Wisconsin, because you will not have the opportunity to see as many public hearings as they occur. You would not essentially hear the voice of the people.
The $1 million is an annual budget, which WisEye has not increased in the past 4 years. And this program is unique to Wisconsin. It's just one of a handful across the nation with a service like this.
All right. And so if people want to support it, help them a bit, how do they do that?
Yeah, they can go to wiseye.org/donate. You can also hear more from our conversation about what this money would do for the organization this Sunday morning at 10:30 on For the Record.
And I know on For the Record, which will air on Sunday, you also talked to Marquette Law School Poll Director Charles Franklin. What can people expect from that conversation?
Yeah, we talked a lot about the upcoming 2026 elections, gubernatorial races, state Supreme Court race. Essentially, what they took the temperature on was name ID. But we found people really not tuned into those races yet. You can see just how much and who's leading the name ID kind of poll right now this Sunday morning.
Oh, we look forward to that, Ellie. Thank you. You can watch all of those interviews and learn more about the bills as well that are making their way through the legislature right now. Simply tune into For the Record with Ellie. It airs on Sunday at 10:30 a.m. An order requiring elections officials to verify the citizenship of all 3.6 million Wisconsin voters is on hold. Earlier this month, the state Justice Department sought the stay while it appeals the case, which stems from a suit that 2 suburban Milwaukee voters filed in August of last year. Now, Wisconsin law already requires voters to certify that they are U.S. citizens. It does not, however, require elections officials to obtain proof or require voters to present any.
It's literally not possible to have a system that makes it absolutely impossible for non-citizens to register and vote. Taken literally, this would require at least an overhaul of every voting system in the country, and quite possibly make it impossible to have such a system at all.
Now, it's unlikely the issue will be resolved before the elections in Wisconsin that are coming up in both February and the general spring election in April. The gun deer hunt right around the corner, and the state legislature is looking to make sure that no deer goes to waste. Our Maren Rosen introduces us to a bill that would provide deer meat to local food pantries. Maren?
This proposed bill would expand access to a program that's been around for 2 decades. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources Deer Donation Program allows hunters to donate deer to be processed and distributed to food pantries across the state. The way this new bill works is it would allow meat processors to give out donated gift certificates to hunters in exchange for their deer. The goal of this bill is to encourage more hunters to use their extra tags to provide more meat for local food shelters. Today, I went out and I spoke to a Lodi food processor, and staff told me they see around 30 to 40 deer donated during hunting season.
We're really excited to be part of the program. We have for probably, my dad's had the meat market for over 30 years, and so anytime they've done it, we've always been a part of it. And we've given a lot to local food pantries who really like it and like that kind of meat this time of year.
Legally harvested in central and southern farmland zones will be eligible. And tonight at 6, Lodi Sausage Company tells me how this program helps the community.
I could sure see a need for it right now. Marin, thank you. And still ahead at 5, trick-or-treating already underway across some parts of southern Wisconsin. Armand Rahman out with a live report to see if the weather is affecting this annual tradition. And it is rivalry weekend on the ice for the Badgers, where you can watch the #1 ranked Badger women's team play tonight on TV live against the 3rd ranked Minnesota Golden Gophers. And later, if you're a YouTube TV subscriber, well, you lost some key channels today. We'll tell you which ones they are and why. And another winning week for Wall Street. The Dow ending the day up 41 points. The Nasdaq jumps 144. S&P 500 adds about 18. We'll be right back. We do have more breaking news at this hour. The Madison police officer who was seriously injured in a crash while on the job is out of the hospital after 35 days of treatment. Video here showing some 100 officers who watched K-9 officer Ryan Kimberly leave. Kimberly injured while responding to a reckless driver. Now, that driver, Christopher Bruger, has been charged with more than a dozen felonies and misdemeanors, including eluding an officer causing great bodily harm. Well, Halloween, we got high school football playoff action tonight. Some folks may be dodging some raindrops. Blaze has our complete forecast.
That's right. A hit or miss shower really can't be ruled out this evening. Temperatures again, as we're getting into more of that trick-or-treating time frame, the upper 40s to low 50s, eventually sliding more into those mid to low 40s. That will eventually start to turn over some of these rain showers into more of a light rain snow mix. Eventually we'll settle into those mid to upper 30s overnight with a light northwesterly wind. So between now and 9 o'clock, we're looking at temperatures to, as I said, go from the upper 40s to about the low to mid 40s, still staying mostly cloudy. A light rain shower can't be ruled out. We'll take another look at radar 3000 in just a moment. As we get closer to that midnight hour onward, that's when we'll eventually get into those upper 30s before finally settling into those mid to upper 30s overnight. A better chance for rain after the midnight hour, especially for folks further to the south, and that will continue through at least the mid-morning hours on Saturday. Right now, the heaviest rain is really limited to Rock County, stretching from essentially the county line with Dane County all the way into northern Illinois. We found a few spotty showers there to the north and west of Richland Center, out into parts of Iowa County, mainly along the Wisconsin River, and then beginning to see a little shower popping up there in far western Sauk County. A light mist or, some drizzle can't be ruled out across other places, but for the most part, the heaviest rain, as I just said, in Rock County. Tomorrow we're looking at that shower activity mainly through the morning hours, and then we will dry out by Sunday. We'll get a little bit warmer and we will be breezy as we're sandwiched between two opposing weather systems. What's bringing the rain right now? A weakening low that will continue to essentially fall apart as we go into Saturday. Cloudy conditions on Saturday, maybe lingering showers into the mid-afternoon hours, but for folks further to the south. I would say if you're north of Madison, that rain chance is really going to taper off once we get to about noon, but we are all going to remain mostly cloudy on Saturday. On Sunday, high to our south, low to our north. They're fighting over who has dominance over the weather here in Wisconsin, and that change in pressure, you can see those speedy little arrows there, mean breezy conditions out of the southwest. Some sunshine, some cloudy conditions before some rain moves on in Sunday night before we clear out going into Monday. Monday and Tuesday, temperatures look to rebound back into more of those low to mid 50s. In terms of rain, not only tonight, but through the weekend, we're looking at maybe a quarter of an inch at best. Unfortunately, it's just not in the cards this time around, or really for this time of year, to get a heavy dosing of rain. And that's coming at a time when we have really had a fairly dry September and October. From the start of September through yesterday's date, the Madison area has only accumulated just over 2.5 inches of rain. To put that kind of into context, in June of this year, we got 2.48 inches of rain in a single day. So we nearly had 2 months of rainfall in a single day, and we barely have picked up any really over the last 60 days or so, which is why the drought conditions have unfortunately expanded across southern Wisconsin. We need rain, but it's just not in the cards until maybe the end of next week. Until then, breezy on Sunday. And remember, we get that extra hour of sleep Saturday night into the end of the weekend.
You really have been talking about that a lot. You're really looking forward to that extra hour.
I've been dreaming of this day since we lost that hour.
Yeah, that's always tough in spring. It's a lot better in fall.
Yeah.
All right, Blaze, thank you. Now, Armand is out trick-or-treating as well as it gets underway. I don't think he's actually trick-or-treating, but he's dressed for it. And Armand, you've seen a lot of trick-or-treaters so far?
Well, take a look for yourself here, Eric. You can see that huge pig, that alien that we met earlier tonight in the broadcast, and a bunch of others. We did beat the young whippersnappers out here for trick-or-treating tonight, but they are eventually coming out. I've also seen a lot of dogs dressed up as well. Actually, more dogs maybe than humans, so we got to step it out. Well, they don't pay me enough for food, and I'm hungry, so let's get some free candy. All right, check it out at this house. This house is decked out here. A live sculpture of how I feel after all the work they made me do today. Ooh, look at that little wind chimes that jingle made out of skulls. And look at this doorbell. Press me if you dare. Let's do it. Ooh, spooky. Hello, hello, trick or treat.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Oh my goodness.
Take a couple.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, come on up, guys. Here, we'll let them come up here. Let's see what we got. We got someone from Stranger Things. Yeah, look at that. We got an alien. We got a pig. I don't know if the pig is going to fit underneath here, though. Hi.
Is this on YouTube?
This is on the news. Can you guys give me a happy Halloween?
Happy Halloween!
Very good. We'll be out here at News 3 Now at 6 here, getting a load of all these trick-or-treating fun. For now, reporting live on the east side of Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
We'll just call you Mr. Incredible. Great job, Armand. Hopefully you can get off the porch with that pig blocking your path. Don't eat too much candy out there. Armand Rahman out with the trick-or-treaters tonight. We should also mention it is rivalry week on the ice for the Badger men's and women's hockey teams. And in about 45 minutes, not much longer now, over on our sister station, Television Wisconsin, you can catch the defending national champion women's team host the Minnesota Golden Gophers. The top-ranked Badgers enter the game undefeated. Third-ranked Minnesota comes in with a 9-1 record, and the Badgers will seek their 11th straight win in this border battle. Again, the puck will drop at 6 p.m. at LeBron Arena right on campus. You can find it live on Channel 3.2. Still ahead tonight at 5, we'll take a look at what rescue operations look like in the Caribbean after Hurricane Melissa slammed the region as one of the most powerful Atlantic storms in more than a century. Plus, what we know about the suspects arrested and what the FBI director is calling a potential terrorist attack. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Moving forward.
National news, federal authorities say they have prevented a potential terrorist attack in Michigan. In a social media post, FBI Director Kash Patel said the subjects were plotting an attack over the Halloween weekend in suburban Detroit. Law enforcement arrested multiple people ages 16 to 20 today and searched a home in Dearborn outside Detroit. As of right now, authorities say there's no threat to the community. Rescue efforts are underway across the Caribbean after Hurricane Melissa tore through the region. Now, the full toll of the catastrophic storm may take days, even weeks, to be determined. Ivan Rodriguez now with the latest.
Days after Hurricane Melissa made landfall in Jamaica, parts of the island remain inaccessible.
They are cutting their way on foot through blocked roads. By foot. This is not easy.
Emergency officials are picking up the pieces and clearing roads to reach isolated communities in need of relief. Torrential downpours and forceful winds unleash widespread destruction across the Caribbean, damaging homes, causing severe flooding and widespread power outages, and forcing the evacuation of hundreds of thousands.
I've never seen anything like this in my life. It was devastating. It was, and the wind and the rain. It was unprecedented.
In Haiti, Melissa did not make a direct landfall, but was still deadly and caused flooding. In Cuba, roads are also covered in mud and trees, leaving many communities isolated from help. Cuba is already receiving some aid from partners such as China and Venezuela, as well as the United Nations. But Jamaica took the heaviest battering. Melissa made landfall there as a Category 5 storm, with estimated maximum sustained winds of 185 miles per hour.
I think the entire Jamaica is really broken. We're working to get to those who need as much assistance as possible.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio activated the Regional Disaster Assistance Response Team on October 29th. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Well, you won't find Disney's channels on YouTube TV, at least until the two can come to an agreement. Disney's channels were removed from YouTube TV's platform after the two media giants failed to reach a new carriage agreement before the deadline at midnight last night. So the blackout leaves subscribers unable to watch content from Disney networks. Now, that includes ESPN for you college football fans this weekend, along with ABC, Disney Channel, FX, National Geographic, and Freeform. The two companies remain in talks, although neither indicated when customers can expect programming to resume. And we'll be right back with a final check of your forecast after a short break.
Over-the-top Halloween decorations are frightening some kids and sparking a debate over just how scary is too scary.
And we go on the road to Heflin, Alabama, where police and teens turn Halloween mischief into a town-wide toilet paper battle that's bringing everyone together. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And stay with us tonight for the News 3 Now at 6 after the evening news. In Baraboo, the city launching a new plate reading system. We'll tell you how it could help solve some crimes. Again, that's tonight at 6. And this weekend, daylight saving time comes to an end. Our clocks will fall back an hour. The time change also means days will be shorter and the nights will be longer. It really doesn't have anything to do with the clock, though, does it? It's just the way it goes, right?
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere,
you know, when you get to late December and it starts getting longer again.
Yeah.
So there we go.
It's all big cycle.
Dodging some raindrops out there, though.
Dodging some raindrops. If we take a live look at the radar, most of that heavy rain, though, right now in Janesville. Take the First Warn Weather app with you if you haven't gone trick-or-treating yet to dodge those showers and track them out.
And you can always find us streaming 24/7 at Channel 3000 Plus. We'll see you.